Hey, this is Kevin Purcell with the Theotech Podcast, and today we're doing something a little bit different. This is our holiday gift guide, and hopefully you didn't go do all your shopping during Black Friday. But a few of our team members today are going to share with you some interesting holiday gifts that they would recommend. These are things that they've checked out, tested, really enjoy using, and so they can recommend them. And our team members who are involved in this, myself, I'm Kevin Purcell. I'm your host of the Theotech Podcast. I'm a pastor and have been a tech blogger in the past. And then also we've got Wes Allen, who is also a pastor, and he's also the kind of the tech guru for the American Baptist Churches of New Jersey. And then our third team member who's participating is our newest team member, and that's Mark Allison. He works for Oak Tree Software with the producers of Accordance Bible Software. And so that's our team. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it and let you know what our favorite gadgets are.
Hello, Theotechers. I'm here to give my recommendation for a Christmas gift idea. And my recommendation is for the aspiring videographer in your life, and it's the Tascam DR40. This is a fantastic portable digital recorder. It can be had on Amazon right now for about $180. The big selling point for the DR40 is the two combination 1/4-inch XLR jacks on the bottom of the device. This means you can plug in some professional sound equipment, and an onboard mixer actually allows you to balance out how the different channels work together. The left side of the device has controls for input level, a hold to keep your settings where they are, and a switch for your external inputs, switching from line, mic, and mic plus phantom power, which is a nice touch, and also a line out or headphone jack so you can live monitor what you're recording. The right side of the device has a slot for your SD card and a older style mini USB plug. Just to note, this USB plug can be used for charging or transferring data from the device to a computer. It, however, cannot be used as an external microphone via USB. You can get this functionality on some newer Tascam devices, but you're going to pay a little more for it. The top of the Tascam has two condenser microphones, which can be split between a wide pattern and a cross XY pattern. When they're in the XY position, there's two guards that keep the microphones from being damaged. And when they're out wide, it's great for recording interviews and really splitting between the left and right channels. The DR40 allows you to record 4 channels simultaneously, which means you can use the two microphones on the top alongside with the two XLR ports on the bottom. So you can use a lapel, shotgun mic, and the two condenser mics, recording some ambient noise. If you're interested in getting into some serious videography or just even being a hobbyist with it, the Tascam DR40 is a great way to get some clean audio to go along with some of the great visuals we can get via our phones or DSLRs. Back again with another gift idea, and this time I'm going to point towards the aspiring writer among your circle of friends. This is Scrivener 3. At first glance, Scrivener looks like just about any other word processor out there on the market today. You have an area to edit and add text, set up paragraphs, headings, that sort of thing. In a typical word processor, you work on one document at a time. That's your individual files. Scrivener changes this up and works on something called projects. These are good for long form writings. Things like books or long dissertations, long papers, that sort of thing. I use projects for my blogging, for my yearly sermon writing, and for the different novels and devotional materials that I'm working on. It is a structured environment, so you can create an outline, and in fact, Scrivener does have an incredible outline view, and you can actually see how your argument is supposed to flow as you work through the project levels. You can do more than write in Scrivener. It has a research folder into which you can import images, PDFs, and even web pages. This is great for compiling all your research into one location as part of your project, so that when you need something, you can go right to it inside Scrivener itself. When it's time to share your work with the world, you can compile your project into a whole host of formats. Everything from print and Word all the way down to things like HTML and Markdown. I appreciate these latter two because this is how I publish my blog every day. Scrivener can be purchased at the Literature and Latte website for a reasonable $45, and this is a generous household license. Anyone living under the same roof is able to use Scrivener under the same serial number. There's also an iOS version of Scrivener which can be purchased through the iOS App Store for $20. It's a universal app and runs on all iPhones and iPads. It's an excellent companion app for the desktop version of Scrivener, and projects can be synced between the mobile and desktop applications via Dropbox.
Thanks a lot, Wes. That was really interesting. A couple of good recommendations, especially if you're into audio recording or if you're a writer and want to check out that Scrivener app. We'll have links to these, of course, in the show notes. You can go over to theotech.com. Now we're going to go ahead and let Mark share his collection of gadgets. He's got a whole bunch of things as well. And like I just said, the links to these will all be in our show notes over at theotech.com.
Hello there. This is Mark Allison. I work for Accordance Bible Software, and I've got some Christmas gift ideas for you. Some of them are tech related, and some of them are not. And I just thought I'd give you an idea of some of the things that I think were kind of cool that you might want to give to someone over the Christmas holidays. So let's see if I've got this in order, starting from least expensive to most expensive, and even the most expensive is not going to cost too much. Now, the first thing I have, and let's see if you can see this here. It's hold it up to the camera. It's a dock, a cradle for your Apple Watch. It's little tiny rubbery thing. It's got a sticker on the bottom if you want to use it. I've used it before on a different one that I had. It was easy to take off. It didn't ruin, didn't hurt the finish of wood or anything. This thing costs about $7. I got it off of eBay. It's rubbery. It fits your charger right there, and the cable feeds through the back. And what I like about this is that some people may not realize that if you put your Apple Watch on this in sort of a horizontal landscape format, at night it turns into like an alarm clock display. And so even when you put your finger near it, it turns on and it'll accurately display the time horizontally. So it's kind of neat, and I really like it. For $7, I thought it was a good deal. Let's see. I think the name that I found it on eBay was T as in Tom, P as in Peter, U as in uniform, TPU docking stand holder for Apple iWatch. So pretty cool little thing. I think it was like like $634 with free shipping. Don't know how they do that, but yeah, this little thing is pretty cool. All right, so from there, I'm going to stick with tech, and then at the end I'm going to show you something that's not tech that I've just started using that I think's neat. This little beauty right here is an Anker speaker that I got on Amazon. It's actually in the case. Let me unzip it for you so you can see what it looks like. It comes in a bunch of different colors: black, red, white, I think. Some of the colors might be more or less expensive. This is made by Anker. I love Anker stuff. I've purchased several things by Anker, and all of them are good quality, and the price is really good on all of them. And this speaker here, it's got a 24-hour playtime, a 66-foot Bluetooth range. I never tried it out that far, but I tried it out probably about 20 or 30 feet, and it worked great. No real distortion. $32.99. The case was extra. The case was like $9.99, but I think the case is worth it. But what I love about this thing is, as small and light as it has a lot of volume. I teach some. I teach at a school of ministry at our church, and I was showing some videos from my laptop, projecting it onto a big screen, and there were, this was in a room that probably could easily fit 50 people, and I stuck this speaker out there, and every excuse me, I didn't even have any problem um, uh, with anybody. No one had a problem hearing it, even when I had the volume, at almost like at half. Everybody could still easily hear the spoken word. So yeah, highly recommend it. And the case is cool too. Again, that's like $9.99 extra, but it's got this little holder here for the charging cable and any other kinds of cables. They do sell an extra cable if with the auxiliary jack if you wanted to use that too. But it's just a nice little speaker that works great if you need to pump some extra volume out of your laptop. Next, I would just encourage anybody that has an older laptop and you don't have an SSD already to go ahead and get an SSD in it. Let's put it right side up. I'm not necessarily telling you to get this one. I kind of just got whatever is cheapest, and I've used some really expensive ones. I've used some cheaper ones. The more expensive ones are going to be faster, faster read-write speeds and stuff like that. But even the cheaper ones are going to make your machine feel like you have a new computer. I've never known anyone that put one in that just wasn't amazed at the difference it made. So it really can add some life to your computer. You can get them. Newegg.com is usually where I go, and I saw some like 250 gigabyte drives for under $90. So you don't have to spend a lot, and this is an amazing way to speed up your machine. Just if you've got a Mac, just back everything up to Time Machine or to an external drive. I usually I use Time Machine, but I don't use that for this kind of backup. I usually use Carbon Copy Cloner, and I can clone the drive to an external drive, then swap out my drive with the SSD, and then clone everything back to the drive. It's quick. I mean, you can do it like in a couple hours at the most, and then you not only have a complete bootable backup, but now you're going to have an amazing fast new drive in your computer and give it some extra life. Now, the last thing isn't tech related, but I just found out about this, and I love this stuff. This is Millie's. Let me get that in the middle. Millie's sipping broth, vegetable sipping broth. I love this stuff. It's so good. And the cool thing, it's got different flavors. This is curry spice. Now, what I love about it is that they're tea bags, and let's see. But it's not tea. It's kind of like bouillon, but way better than bouillon. And so you just put the tea bag in some hot water for about 3 minutes. And what's great about this is that if you get hungry in between meals, and you really don't want to eat something, but you want to curb your appetite, this stuff is awesome. In fact, I've got some right here, and I'm loving it. Good stuff. And I got this on Amazon. I think I paid about $15 for 12 of them. So they're not cheap. If you're thinking about it as tea, it's not cheap. But if you're thinking about it as food, it's not that expensive. And you might be able to turn someone on to something that they've never heard about before that they'll enjoy. So yeah, just a fun kind of thing there. And that's it.
All right, so that was Mark. And thanks a lot, Mark, for those recommendations. I just got a cool gadgets that I'm going to recommend to you. It's a little pricey. The DJI Spark. This is a sort of an introductory level, high-end consumer drone, and I want to show it off to you a little bit. It's a pretty cool gadget, and so I'll go ahead and let you see some sample video and some photos, things like that, and I'll go ahead and do that. Show the video of that now. All right, so this is the actual DJI Spark drone. I was fortunate enough to pick this up on a Black Friday deal through their website. Actually, it was on the Amazon's website, and it was on sale. It's normally, I think, $4.99. I got it for $3.99. This is just the basic drone in white. They come in different colors, and you can see these fold out into the normal size. I'm not going to do all of that. There's lights on the bottom here. There's the camera, so that when you want to take video or pictures, I'll show you some sample shots from that. You can buy some accessories for this thing. They've got some blade guards here that you can put on. You can also get, this actually is controlled through your phone. However, they've got a real nice remote controller that you can attach to your phone. You can either do that, I think, through Bluetooth and then also through a cable. I've learned that the cable is probably the best route to go. That's a little pricey. It's $150 retail. You can find it for a little less than that. The battery on this thing is down here at the bottom, and it will last, I think, about 15-20 minutes or so. I've not really played with it long enough to test that out, but I've only flown it one time so far. I just got this a couple days ago. Didn't have any time to test it out the first day. So I really just flown it a little bit this morning. And so haven't got a lot of experience with it. I'm just kind of learning how to use this. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get that remote control, because I think that will give me a lot better use out of it. The signal apparently is stronger because it's got antennae on it, a couple of them. So I've just kind of flown it in beginner mode, which can go up to 8 meters, I think it is. And so, I've just played with it just a little bit. But I really like it. I think for the price, if you can get it for that cheap price during the holiday season, maybe it'll come down again for another $100 like that. Make it $4.99 or $3.99. If not, you can pick it up for $4.99. They have a bundle with some of the extras, like the guards, an extra battery, I think, and the control for like $700. I sold my MacBook Pro because I wasn't using it and got this instead, and so I really like it.